Now that we have a basic idea how our room will look like with the window and the person as a reference, let's just create some material for the room. And this time we will apply the modifier so we can select the face inside here and outside to give them both a different material. Select your cube or your room, go onto the arrow here and press apply. In the shader editor down here, you can see you can create new materials. What I will do now is drag up this part of the window, go over here to select the editor type, and there you can see you can change the different views. You can also activate a different viewport. Let's go to the camera view, make this the rendered version so you can always see what your camera is seeing. It's a nice workflow to always have one camera angle that's rendered, and with the other one you can move around. But for now we will stick with the shader editor right here. If you don't have the tools on the left side, you can press N to see them or get them, put them away. And there we go, we have our material here. It's the same material, you can also change or add materials down there, it doesn't make a difference. Here you just have a better overview. Let's call this one inner wall by just double clicking it. You can press on the plus up here to create a new material, select new down there, double click and rename this to outer wall. What else do we need? We also downloaded the wood floor, so let's create a new material, calling this one floor. And now we have 3 different materials. So what we will do now is we go into the edit mode from the cube, select the easiest one first. It's just the floor will be the floor. Select the floor, select the floor material over here and just press assign. If you want to see what's happening, you can go into the rendered view, and in the material tab you can just set this color to there, to a base color. And now for the inner wall, we have these walls right there, and you press them, you press 1, let's go back to solid view, then you press shift and select multiple faces. Again, select the inner material, assign, and let's change this to a blue color. Let's see if it did it. Yes, it actually did. But it also, since we didn't specify material to the other ones, also assigned it to the outer walls. So let's select. With our selection, press Ctrl, select the floor, and now press Ctrl I to invert all the selection. Now select the outer wall, press assign, and give this a green material. So yeah, we have 3 different materials all applied to our scene. It looks ugly, we will change that, but for now it's just to show you what you can do. If you want to still see some variations of the material in solid view, select the material. First of all, get rid of the preview. I don't like that. I don't need that. Scroll all the way down to viewport display. And here you can change the color. For example, the inner wall, you can make this blue. And then the floor, you can also make this darkish. This way you can distinguish what materials are applied where without the computation power to render everything. Now let's just import the images we just downloaded from Polyhaven. You need to unzip all the images we downloaded from Polyhaven, and then we can come to Blender and just apply them. If you have activated the Node Wrangler add-on, here let's just see Node Wrangler, it is activated, which is good. We can just press Control, Shift and T. And this way we can just apply all of our materials at once. So we select the floor, and for the floor, what do we need? Let's just go into this view so we can see what's happening. We need the roughness. I will talk about the roughness later. We need also the deck. We need no displacement. We need the normal, and that's it. Then you can click on the bottom and import these textures. And thanks to the Node Wrangler add-on, everything is taken care for you. Usually you would have to do it by yourself to click everything. For example, for the color, you have to take care of the color space. It's sRGB, not that difficult, but still. The roughness, it's the non-color, it was black and white, and same goes for the normal. So what will happen once we go into rendered view? You will have a wooden floor. That's nice, isn't it? We can also import a light. You have a point light, a sunlight, spot and area light. And I just want a sunlight for now, because it will be also a sunny day, I guess. Oh yeah, by the way, I'm just doing this without telling you anything. If you select the sun, you press R twice, you can just move the sun's position, the rotation, just a little bit any way you want. I'm just gonna go like this for now. And you can position the sun any way you want. Since the sun is also in real life above the earth, it doesn't really matter. Okay, now that we have the wood floor, we can do the same thing for the wall. Select the wall, select the principal BSDF, Control, Shift, T, and let's select the rest. We need the bricks, we need the roughness. With Control you can select multiple, select not the floor, the brick, and the normals for the brick. There you go, we already have the brick and the wood material without doing anything by ourselves. As you can see, it doesn't really look right, and the green color from the outer wall looks distracting, so let's just turn it down a bit. By the way, as you can see, you can change the brightness or the value right there. So let's go down with the value and let's make it a bit grayish, the color, so it doesn't really bother that too much. Let's start with the wood floor. Go into edit mode, select the wooden floor. To change, first of all, the direction of the bricks, and to change the wood floor to not have huge wood piles or wood tiles on the floor, go into edit mode, press A to select everything, U and unwrap. And this one failed because we also cut the hole. Let's just go to Smart UV Projection, and that's it. What does this projection mean? Let me try to find an object. Okay, there you go. This is basically unwrapping. You have a cube and you have a dice, and you have different faces on this dice. You have different numbers. You have 1 to 6. And once you unwrap it, you unfold it from, you have a 3D object and you want to put it into the 2D field or the 2D plane to apply textures on it. And as you can see, here this is already cut up, and let's go down and select this one. You basically fold the image around the 3D object. That's what basically unwrapping means. And UV stands for U coordinate and the V coordinate. You usually have X and Y, or X and Z, or Y and Z, depends on where you are. And that's basically it. It will get a little bit messy later on, but it's also a nice topic to learn. For now, we're just going to stick with the automated version. So Smart UV Project is mostly what we can go for. We change this view here to the UV editor. Select our cube, go into edit mode, and as you can see, we have our wood texture selected, our wood floor. And we just want to move our wood floor, so select this one and you will see in the bottom only this part that has been unwrapped will be shown. Go down here, press A to select everything, press A to select everything, and then S to scale it up. And you can see we are shrinking basically our tile. I think that's good enough. That should be our wood floor. And now we can do the same thing with the walls too. In edit mode, we are going to select the materials, but we can also do it differently. Go to the material tab on the side and select inner wall, press select, and it's selecting all the materials that have this texture applied. And we are going to do the same thing here. Press A to select everything, S, scale it up, and then just move it. But as you can see, they're not really aligned. They don't really have to be, but it would look nice. So what we can do is just move these ones around, scale them up, move them, and let's just select one face and try to align it with another one. That's the material for the bricks. We can go into detail of what we actually did right here. Let me just go over it. This, as it says, it's the mapping. We have the UV coordinate, the UV texture that we want to wrap around our object. We have the mapping. We could have also scaled up or down our texture right here, but I wanted to show you how it's done in the UV editor. Scale it up, scale it down. And this all goes into the vector. This will all influence the images. Our brick image, what we just had here, this is our base image. Then we have the normal. With the normal map, you basically bake in the orientation of the faces. You have 3 different colors, but they're really fine detailed around it. If you look on top, you have X is red, Y is green, Z is blue. And depending on the orientation, like if it's on the XY, it's mixing kind of the green, reddish color, and then you will have the different orientation. So this is basically where does this face point to at this moment. This saves a lot of computational time because the computer already knows where the faces should be showing. And then you have the roughness, which is basically, let me take a piece of paper. You have a paper, you think it is smooth, but if you look under a microscope, you see rough edges all over. Let me just try to draw it for you real quick. Go to solid view. This is, let's say, was straight in a smooth face. The light comes in, it bounces off, and it goes away. This is your polished metal, for example. You have a polished surface, it's smooth, it shines, or your mirror, for example, it just reflects. So your mirror would be roughness of 0. I will show you soon. And the roughness of 1, like really rough. You have light coming in and bouncing in this direction. You have light coming there, maybe bouncing in this direction, going off in that direction. So roughness basically is actually talking about how rough the surface is. So 1 means really rough, 0 means smooth. And just go back to the shader editor. And using images like this, you don't really need to worry about any of those numbers because the image provides which place of the brick is more smooth or which brick is rough. If we take this away, for example, let's take away the roughness, let it load. There you go, everything is the same roughness, it's looking like it's wet. And if you go down with the roughness, you see it's just shiny, as if you put something glossy over it. And if you put the roughness all the way up, you see nothing really bouncing off. And if you plug in the image, where is the roughness? There we go. You have different parts that are shining differently. And with the normal, let's just try to zoom in a bit to see Let's get rid of the normal for now. It will calculate and everything is flat, like it's just one surface. If you plug in the normal, it's calculating, there you go, where the light should bounce. Let me just mute this. You can also press M to mute it. You see, there you go. You have the information, it's there basically. Let's just exaggerate this, make this 10. And there you have a really rough surface just with an image. If you wanted to do this with geometry, like actually moving around the mesh, you would have so many vertices. It would slow down your computer. I talked a lot. I know this might be a lot to digest if you're really starting out new, but you can be proud of yourself. This is a huge step. This is basically what you will be doing. You can download textures, apply them, do them yourself, play around with the roughness or the base color. Later on, once you get really into it, you can raise it. You can go to color, go into mix color, plug this one in. You can change the color of your bricks too. Make it greenish, make it bluish, make it more red. That's all things that will come later on once you do it daily. You work with Blender and every day you learn something new. But that's it for now. I hope you enjoyed it. Thumbs up, subscribe. See you in the next one.